So when we look at Genesis 42, we continue the biblical discourse. I truly believe this is Joseph's life is a typical life of an entrepreneur, you know? Because now if you were to just read 42, you find an account where now everything, the struggles, everything that he went through, now he's reached the peak, the plateau. He's being rewarded for his endurance, perseverance, and all those things. Because in 42, the famine is happening now. Joseph is second in charge, and he's the one who's distributing the wheat and the maize and all those things. And his family, the very same family that sold him to slavery, the very same family that betrayed him, they're also in need. They come to Egypt. And this is the part where I find quite interesting. They did not recognize Joseph, but he recognized them. So I was looking at it, I was like, work on yourself so much that you become transformed. The people that used to know you 10 years ago, they cannot recognize you because you have worked on yourself so much. That's number one. Number two, you walk with God for so long that you are no more. I think that's what it says about Enoch. You walk with God for so long. I think because when we start the story of Joseph, that's in chapter 37, it says God was with him. God was with him. He walked with God for so long that he was no more. That the people in your space, the people that you grew up with, they no longer recognize you. Because it is no longer I who lives, it's Christ who lives in me. So once Christ lives in you, he starts manifesting. And now the carnal man, the natural man, the one that they used to know, falls off. I used to be selfish. I used to be conceited, you know. You used to speak anyhow, vulgar words. But once you walk with God for so long that you work on yourself, you change your vocabulary, changes. That's the other thing, that's what I saw as I was looking at Genesis 42. So as I continued, but now he did not use his position of power to oppress his own family. At start, he wanted to test it to see if they come with good intentions or what, but ultimately, he worked it out in such a way that they also benefited from him being in Egypt. Or you know what? He is the one who becomes their savior. That's becoming a shadow of Christ, saving his own people, saving the people that betrayed him, the very same people that sold him to slavery. That's one of the things that I saw as I was looking at Genesis 42. So family, I think as we look at the life of Joseph, like I said, it's a life of, a typical entrepreneurship. Or the risks, the hardships, the discipline, and the heartaches, everything that he went through. In most cases, when we look at an iceberg theory, the mass of all of that is hidden underneath and nobody sees that. But all they see is just the top, the tip of the iceberg, the surface, and that will be the success portion when now they see you've made it. But they don't see the hardship that you went through. So if we can study the life of Joseph and really diligently say, you know what, if God can work through him, regardless of the hardships, everything that he went through, he remained faithful. And God, what Romans say, it works for good. It all works for good for those that love the Lord. All of it worked for good, you know? So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention this morning to say, when you study the life of Joseph, see an entrepreneur there. See that, you know what, patience, resilience, and perseverance, they do pay off if you are walking with God and you're trusting in him that, you know, everything that's happening